my body in the dirt. Let me rap beneath the earth. Grab the shackles, lock up my thirst.
Welcome back to another Raider D podcast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Raider Nation, it is another post-game analysis. We just defeated the Denver Broncos for the 7th time in a row. So we pretty much own them. But it was an ugly game. I'm going to tell you that right off of the gate. There's a few issues that we really absolutely need to address moving forward. The Broncos are not a top-tier team. They are a decent team, but they are not top tier. Russell Wilson is not the Russell Wilson of before. And for the fact that we only won by a single point, basically an extra point that was missed by their kicker, is concerning. So moving forward, there are a few things that we really need to address. Now, first, I'm going to say that the defense did a pretty solid job. We got a couple sacks on Russell Wilson. Of course, Max Crosby got his, and Tillery got one as well. But one of the biggest concerns that I have right now is Tyree Wilson. I watched him, and I was intently watching Tyree throughout the entire game when the defense was out there to see how he was doing. Now, I'm going to go through and I'm going to get some game footage, and I'm going to kind of point some of the things out that I'm going to talk to you about right now. But this is just a quick post-game analysis, so we're not going to jump into video. But Tyree Wilson was slow to get off of the snap. Tyree Wilson was getting manhandled by the tackle, and he really was ineffective throughout the entire game. He looked lethargic. He seemed to have no idea of what he was doing out there. It was embarrassing to see Tyree Wilson really just get manhandled throughout the entire game. Now, with that being said, I think Malcolm Koonce did a pretty decent job, and to be honest, I think Malcolm Koonce should have been the full-time starter out there, and Tyree just come in as a breather for Malcolm Koonce. Malcolm Koonce has been in the system for longer than Tyree. Tyree hasn't played football other than a few snaps in the last preseason game for a year. So, of course, he's going to look terrible. Now, he has a huge upside, but it is concerning how out of shape he looked, how lost he looked in the defense, and how he just simply got manhandled by the Broncos tackle. Other things of concern, Jimmy G did a pretty good job. He did have a pick in the end zone. It was a pass he should not have thrown. Other than that, he did look pretty decent. He was very accurate. I'm a little bit concerned about the dink and dunk offense that we're doing right now. We really need to be spreading the field out more. Another thing is Jacoby Myers got drilled in the end of the game, which actually won us the game because they got a unnecessary roughness called against the Denver Broncos for that because it was helmet to helmet. It was a blatant targeting, which was just a bummy move by the Broncos defense. But it's concerning now. He's clearly in concussion protocol. It was a very scary moment. They only showed just a brief moment of him on the ground, and his eyes were dilated. He wasn't moving. It was a pretty scary, pretty intense moment. So to, Jacoby Myers and his entire family, as Raider Nation, we love you. We support you. We hope that you're okay. And obviously we're going to be without Jacoby next week, and probably for the next couple of weeks. He is definitely going to be in concussion protocol. Hopefully that's all it is, and he's going to be okay. But, hey, we got Hunter Renfrow, so throw him in there. He gets paid big money. Let him do his job, and he should be just fine. But we are going to be down a receiver in Jacoby Myers. Other than that, it didn't look like we really targeted Michael Mayer too much. I think he got one target, one catch. His name didn't really get called either, so that's a little bit concerning because, again, this is supposed to be the best tight end coming out of the draft, and he really was not a part of the game too much. So want to see more out of it. Now, moving forward, I think that the offense is going to be fine. Clearly, Josh Jacobs was rusty in this game. He did not have an all-star game like he was having last year. That's part of just missing training camp and preseason and all of the OTAs and everything else. Is he going to continue that? No. It is Josh Jacobs, best running back in the NFL. He'll be just fine. but want to see him get some of that rust off, get some of that speed back. He did make some good moves. He did pick up some first downs. He did get some good yardage, but he clearly wasn't playing at the level that he was playing last year. So beyond that, the fact of the matter is we got a dub to start the season. It was an ugly game. There was a ton of unnecessary penalties. Looked like the Raiders of old. So, McDaniels, you got to get the team cleaned up when it comes to that. But other than that, I think we did pretty good. We came out with a victory, and that's all we can hope for as Raiders fans is to get those dubs. And we got one today to start the season over our hated Denver Broncos. So congrats, Raider Nation. Congrats to the Raiders. You guys did a good job. We got the victory. Looking forward to next week against the Bills. That's going to be a much tougher opponent. Let's get it tightened up. This is the Raider Deep Podcast, and I will see you in the next one.